And we teach our children all sorts of things, but we must teach them to be good stewards of the environment. And what better way than to have them in a green school?
The environment's important to me because, we live in it. If it becomes destroyed, it would be really hard for us to exist.
As we began to design the building, we wanted to put certain aspects of the environment into the building itself. So we wanted to make the building a learning tool. Everything from the compass rose to an outdoor environmental eco lab, which is an outdoor classroom, to the leaf prints on each of the doors that are native to Pennsylvania.
Let's read it together.
There are many facets of what we do as Christians, and the environment is a very important one of them.
To catch the rain.
That's why we have a school, that's why we worship the way we do, and that's why we have a great deal of concern about the environment and God's creation for the future.
It's not enough just to teach our students to make ethical decisions. It's important to involve them and have them actually make those decisions.
I think I get more queries from the kids concerning energy saving than I get from the adults. The kids are really concerned about lights being left on, about recycling. The kids are right there saying, well, it's about time.
The children are learning about reducing the amount of water that you use, about the impact of the southern rays of the sun, about the different recycled products that are part of this school. I've already heard them being very impressed about our recycled tire flooring.
We're not here to be environmental activists, we're here to be environmental educators. And we give the facts and allow students to form their own opinions.
Do we have a pink water lily? Is there one?
I saw one before.
In the 70s, we had programs of blocking up windows because of the heat loss through those big panes of glass. So we covered them up. Now we have higher performance glass, double or triple thicknesses with air spaces between that insulate, so we're able to open the windows once again and bring the daylight in. The whole idea of being able to recycle, and to recycle stone walls, which are irreplaceable today. Why not preserve those as assets for our future generations?
One thing about St. Stephen's is that there is a sense of family, there's a sense of loyalty. If we're going to build in the city, we thought we should build something for the future.
The school was in great need of classroom space. The plan was to put classrooms in the parking garage.
Natural light is very important. Recycled materials.
Lowering our operating costs long term will put more money either for scholarships or for actual curricular instruction.
We were able to consult with the architects and impact the fact that this would be a green renovation. The building was increased by 30% of the square footage.
Every aspect of this building has been redone. For the kids who have lived through it, they can see the change and all the new facilities. The pool, the gymnasium, the weight room, the aerobics room. For the taxpayers, they got a building that can now be used not only by the students during the day, but by the community in the evenings and the weekends. We've opened the building up, we've cleaned it up, the faculty is ecstatic.
You're trying to make the most conducive environment you can for the students for instruction to take place.
We reduced the lighting load, so the HVAC system could be significantly reduced. It is projected that the energy costs will be reduced by 40%.
What we're doing is saving the existing building, which has really nice big classrooms. It's kind of long and skinny, and it lends itself really well to daylighting, which we were able to do pretty successfully.
Because we have dual exchange, we can pull in fresh air from outside as well as recirculate air inside. We would hopefully have fewer colds, fewer absences of both children as well as staff. And if our staff is here, we have more consistent instruction and we're not paying additional funds for substitutes.
Set your pencil down. When we had the opportunity to build this facility, it was clear we wanted to make a statement. When you consider the older school, which was a very confined traditional space, this is like stepping into a whole new world, which it is.
Early on, there was a commitment to recycled materials and low-emission products. We can let in both air and light, and it's just a much more pleasant atmosphere.
The boys came the first day and they're like, you have to come to the boys' bathroom. And I'm like, guys, you know what? We already did the mutual tour.
Things like waterless urinals, automatic faucet controls, consume, in this case, more than 30% less water than a conventional building.
The first goal was to site the building so that it could capture natural daylight. And the building elements, the brick and the roof, are long-lasting and low maintenance. We supplied the right amount of air and the lowest level of toxins to the spaces. We made sure that the lighting was appropriate, that the acoustics was as good as it could be in a classroom.
We put heat pumps in every classroom, and we made sure that the units where they were installed weren't in the classroom. They're actually in a cement block chamber to the side of the classroom, so noise from the units running would not filter into the classroom.
We're running at about 30% less energy levels than a conventional building.
We feel we're going to save between $40,000 and $50,000 a year on fossil fuels and obviously not pollute the environment.
I think the biggest opportunity is that it has a presence that will generate revitalization of the surrounding area.
We have these degraded neighborhoods that, to me, it was just so great to create a school that I thought would be a gift for these children. And so we wanted to create 2 courtyards that would be the entry places for the children, and they would enter through the neighborhood as opposed to the big street of 4th and Lehigh. They would pass through into the school, and then that would become the connective spine that would be all glass, so that as they walked through and changed classes, they could look out over the treetops and see green.
We used sun shading devices to amplify the light inside the classrooms, tall ceilings that used the minimum of electrical lighting. Already, people have noted that something different is happening.
We're not going to be looking back later and saying, what should we have done to lower our energy costs? We did that at the beginning.
We were able to reduce energy consumption in this school, and that was really a combination of the daylighting provisions as well as high insulation in the walls and windows. In fact, the walls are built out of insulated concrete forms, which in essence are styrofoam blocks filled with concrete.
We have big, bright windows. We have harvested the maximum natural light that we possibly can. We have sensors that determine whether artificial lighting is even needed, and they will dim the lights if there is sufficient natural light for learning.
That sensor tells the lights they may go off.
This road 2 directions.
So now, this would be... A lot of people have said in the past, green design is really just good design. But beyond that, it's informed design, it's educated design. To help their design team to produce a LEED silver building.
The best thing that happened was the workshop that was held to explain what is a LEED school. The fact that we were able to bring experts together, and I had some board members participating so that they could understand the difference between a high-performance school and, quote, a regular school.
If you achieve a certain amount of points in the LEED rating system, everybody agrees that you've produced a green building.
By doing that,
the key concept is this concept of integrated design and getting all those players to work together from the very beginning of the project, focused on how to analyze the systems in such a way that you can minimize costs.
And we want the building to be as flexible as possible.
We had one little girl who said this building is helping her learn. She's like, I think this building is making me smart. So they were fascinated.
The physical environment is a significant variable in enhancing or retarding teaching and learning.
these are the people we're designing for. And if they don't want to come to work every day and come to learn every day, then we've just failed as architects.
School districts need to take the lead. They need to take action and demand more of professionals.
You have to have an architect that is committed to the process, philosophically believes as you do.
If they're resistant, sort of sitting like this, and I'm not so sure about this stuff, there's going to be a struggle. If they're experienced, that's great, and it will make your life easy.
We spent a lot of time with our architects planning this integrated system in the beginning.
Goal setting is a very important part of the process. We had a lot of interaction with the design team and with the school district to try and bring together a vision for what the building ought to look like and how that building ought to perform.
This is public tax money, and you try to provide the best that you can, the most efficiently that you can. You can prove to people that it really doesn't cost more, and in the end you can save more.
I think that ethically, schools need to be modeling and leading the way for civilization.
Everyone wants to have a good environment. Everyone wants to preserve the environment. So green architecture is just one of the ways of doing it.
Frankly, I can't understand why anyone would build a school that wasn't a green design building. It just doesn't really make any sense.